Battlefield, offering large-scale warfare and team play over generations of players and game consoles and computers alike. With DICE's newest title, does it really bring innovation and new features to the table, or is it lacking what truly is a Battlefield game? With Battlefield 5 coming out right around the corner in November, it's been heavily criticized with its portrayal of World War II and soldiers that took part in the historical conflicts. With its pre-order sales already being very low, rumors started to float around that Battlefield 5 could be released with a secondary game to boost its sales. This game in question was a remaster of the fan favorite Battlefield Bad Company 2. These rumors also claimed that the game could possibly have the implementation of cosmetic microtransactions, just like Battlefield 4 or more recently Battlefield 1. While some fans may be concerned with staying true to the original game, I'm more concerned with DICE's moral standpoint on releasing such a fan-favorite game with a title that many people seem not to care too much about. What I'm referring to is what I like to call the Infinite Warfare effect. Now, as you all know, Infinite Warfare was in a similar position. Its reveal trailer was the second most disliked video alongside Justin Bieber's Baby music video. In addition to being generally poorly received by fans, Call of Duty's Infinite Warfare was later revealed to be bundled as a Legacy Edition. This included, undoubtedly, one of the most favorite games for fans in the series, Call of Duty Modern Warfare. This Legacy Edition costed $20 more than the normal $60 price tag in America for brand new games, costing a whopping $80, albeit you were getting two full-on AAA titles, one being a huge graphical remaster which would later re-include its first DLC pack and many cosmetic features that weren't present in the original game. The reason Modern Warfare Remastered was included was to greatly boost the sales and pre-orders of Call of Duty's Infinite Warfare. The same thing can be seen happening with Battlefield 5. If rumors are true that a fan-favorite title is being re-included, is it really morally just to do this? Now, being a company and game producer, DICE and EA can do whatever they want. They can release and make whatever games they want. With that being said, there's nothing to stop them from including Battlefield Bad Company 2 or any other fan-favorite title such as Battlefield 3. The problem I have with this is how it will split the community. Battlefield 3 and Battlefield Bad Company 2, just to name a few, are still very active communities on consoles and PCs. Not only that, but I see it as a rather scummy tactic to include such a fan-favorite game along with a title that frankly not a lot of fans are caring about right now. Chances are, if a remastered Battlefield game is released as a bundle with Battlefield 5, that remastered title would probably not see the light of day as a standalone release until at least probably a year later, as the case with Modern Warfare Remastered. If DICE and EA knowingly release a fan-favorite game along with the newer title that many people are interested in, I see this as a very scummy tactic. A lot of people have made statements saying they're not going to buy the new game for a number of reasons. But when DICE knowingly incorporates a remaster of an older fan favorite game, they very well know people might end up pre-ordering and buying that bundle just for the sake of playing the older game. Basically, the moral of this story is that I'm concerned whether or not this is really an ethical thing to do. Like I've said, DICE and EA can do whatever they want, but is this really the way to keep their fans along with the series? I personally will not buy the new game, due to this reason and many more. If it is bundled with a remastered game, I'd be very happy to see that, but from a moral standpoint, I would be very questionable as to where EA and DICE's priorities lie. Do they lie with the fans, improving content, gameplay, graphics, and other things, or are they really in it for the money and notoriety? Finally, in other recent news, it's been revealed that DICE developers are willing to tone down and go back to some more authenticity with their new title after the copious amounts of backlash. Whether or not it will be to the standard that many players want, we are very unsure of, but we can all hope that this will be a change made with the final product. From a gameplay perspective, in my opinion at least, I don't think the game has changed very much. Unlike older titles, where there was a lot more team play involved, with Battlefield 5, it seems a lot more fast-paced and, if I may say, Call of Duty-like. Instead of working with a team to secure an objective or hold down a key choke point on a map, I've seen many people during the beta running around, racking up kills, and going from point A to point B to C to D and so on to capture points and kill enemies. There's not many tactical movements made by players, and everyone's sort of running in the open with their heads cut off like chickens. Now, how you play the game is totally up to you, but I am concerned for the future Battlefield players. Will they be able to experience and innovate with teamwork, or will everybody be concerned about how they're going to do in a game? When I first got Battlefield 3, I was amazed. There was a lot of teamwork going on, squads always had different classes, and everybody always took note of how they were playing, what weapons they were using, what class they were playing, and how they could help out in a battle. For example, in a Conquest game, I normally play as the medic. On occasion, I would switch to engineer to help my friends take down a tank. In the Battlefield 5 beta, I saw nothing of the sort. Lots of players would usually go in as an assault class and try and rack up as many kills as possible. I didn't see a lot of reviving, which I also found apparent in Battlefield 1's beta. It seemed as if players weren't mindful of their teammates. If teammates needed to take down a tank, or if there were a lot of enemies nearby, a support gunner would be very helpful with a light machine gun. Now, a lot of players did not switch over to a different class to help for that particular situation. They would stay as whatever class they were and only focus on their gameplay and not their teams. Something I don't think a lot of people understand is that Battlefield is meant to be a team-based game. Whether or not the newer games still hold that as high as how many kills you can get per match, I still think it's a core fundamental that many older players sorely miss. With a new gameplay style and a new generation of gamers, it's going to be very interesting to see how people will work together and whether or not people will go into a game with a mindset of, let's help my team and let's try and win, as opposed to what I see more commonly with, let's see how many kills I can get with this new gun, or let's see how many kills I can get and try and achieve this challenge so I can get this new weapon. Whether or not Battlefield 5 is going to be a complete flop is really up in the air right now. I'm very happy to hear that there's been revamps to the authenticity of the game recently, and I was generally very intrigued when watching gameplay of the beta. The map seemed very interesting to me, very open. It seemed like there were a lot of sight lines and different routes to take, and I was very interested in the weapons and gear players were able to use. With that being said, in my opinion, the game does not offer a lot of great innovation, and flashy new guns and new locations isn't enough for me to warrant spending $60 on a brand new title, especially given all the criticism and developer response to fans over the new game's development. I want to thank you all for watching, and remember, this is just my opinion. If you want to buy the game, go for it. If you don't, that's totally fine. But someone's opinion on YouTube should not dictate whether you buy a new video game. I'm just trying to get the information out here and help you make a more educated purchase decision. With that being said, I hope you guys all have a good day, and let's hope we can see some pretty interesting releases down the road. And hopefully Battlefield 5 will turn out to be as good a game as were some of the past titles. Thanks for watching.